Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for coming this week, making yourself a priority. I'm Denise. It is Saturday, and Saturday in this channel is WW Meeting Topic du Jour, my weekly weigh-in. Today was my last meeting at the WW Center. Last day I'm going to have this name tag. And the recipe of the week is lemon herb chicken sheet pan dinner. Sheet pans, say hi to Slim. Sheet pans are always fantastic. It's definitely a quick way to get a nice healthy meal, and you got your protein, your good carb, your veg. Well, there it is. It's for all the recipes that they give on the cards are from the WW app. It is 5 points. You have Yukon Gold potatoes, olive oil, salt, pepper, skinless chicken breast, parsley, rosemary, garlic powder, lemons, broccoli florets, and soy sauce. Sounds delicious. How many servings does this make? Does it say? Serves 4, so you get 1 out of 4 servings. So there's going to be 20 points in this recipe. Well, it could be the 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which you could technically spray it and get away with some of those points. But, you know, I mean, olive oil is a fantastic fat. Totally. But, you know, you can definitely lower. You can definitely change up the protein. You could put shrimp. Would be really good in that as well. But, yeah. All right, Dee, how'd you do this week? Well, it was a holiday. Not that I'm making excuses, but it was. It's the truth. It's not, you know, if you're new here, this is a channel where we don't make excuses. We don't really care what we do. We do what we do, and then we reap the benefits, or the, you know, we deal with the consequences. So I got on the scale, and I was exactly the same. I was a bit shocked, I'm not going to lie, because I had a decent amount of chocolate eggs on Sunday. So the rest of the week I was really good. I mean, I was what we call on plan. We don't say good or bad, we say on plan. So yeah, I mean, and I ate leftovers Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday was the day I made that chicken cordon bleu riff, where I put the ham and the cheese on top of the boneless, skinless chicken breast. It was delicious. So yeah, we had leftovers Sunday and Monday as well. So I don't quibble over ham. It's ham. Oh my God, I had ham. Ham is just pork. Yes, it's a little bit more. I will say there was not a lot of fat on this ham, and I did not eat the fat whatever it was on there, I definitely cut it off. So it's ham. And pork is, we didn't gain weight eating pork. At least lean pork anyway. But yeah, I was pleased. I mean, you could sit there and say, oh, but you're trying to lose, D. Sometimes maintenance is a gift. And I was shocked to be like to the point, you know, like that's insanity to me that's the second week in a row. So maybe things are turning around that I'm on this healthy app. I don't know. I mean, 2 weeks in a row without a gain is quite the win. So I am taking yes. And if you didn't know, I am tracking mostly on the healthy app. I do give you WW points, but I am mostly focused in the healthy app on the better balance plan, also with a secondary metric of macros, because yeah, I need to up some of those things. I need to know what kind of carbs I'm eating. I need to know what my protein is. I don't have lofty goals, but I do have goals, you know, like keep them maintainable and simple has always been my mantra. And also as a fat goal, because we need our fats. Fats get a bad rap sometimes. I mean, I'm a person who eats low fat, I do, but sometimes I eat low fat so I can have my fats the way that I can control them, like olive oils and stuff like that. So yeah, that's, you know, where I come in with fats, avocados, nuts. So I have lower fat dairy to have those other fats. It's kind of like a give and a take, you know? You can't have both. Here's the thing, if you're going to have both, you're not going to be having a lot. And I like to have I like to have a normal size portion. I don't want to be having something this big. I'm just saying, that's just me, and that's how my journey's always been. It's all been about, I like quantity. And how can I get quantity for a low amount of points? It's making easy substitutions, and you see them on my recipes. And again, you don't have to make those substitutions. You can make the recipes any way you want. It is your point bank to do what you see fit. Okay, I'm drinking a new tea. I just tasted it as a new, to me, Spindrift. It was green tea and mint. It's delightful. Very delightful. So, yep. All right, what's the topic du jour? How to turn your mini wins into lasting inspo. By Beth Janes. She's back, Mr. Beth Janes O'Keefe. All right. This is a great topic for this week because of just the week that I had. So I'm happy to be bringing this to you. Every day you put effort into making healthy decisions and following your routines. You deserve some props. So grab a horn. We'll show you how to use it. Try this. What simple thing did you do this week that took a lot of effort or energy? A lot of effort and energy to stay away from the chocolate. Stay away from the chocolate. That's hard, especially when I've indulged. It's easier for me to stay away from it when I don't have that lingering on my palates. So that was my simple thing. I mean, simple in a sense that I just had to stay away from it, but definitely took a lot of effort and energy. They say, made 2 low-point dinners after work. That's hard to cook after work. You worked hard, been on your feet all day. You don't feel like coming home and making dinner. So that's why sometimes it's good to look up something and have something ready to at least that this is simple in the fact you throw it all in a sheet pan, you throw it in the oven. It doesn't take too much thought. It does take some prep. You have to chop your broccoli, chop your potatoes, get your chicken ready. Now you could buy your broccoli pre-chopped. You could even buy those cute little potatoes. We don't even have to cut them. Take shortcuts where you can, because if you have those shortcuts, you're more apt to cook. If you make it where you're going to have to get the big potatoes, you got to peel them, you got to cut them. Yeah, nobody got time for that. It sounds like, do I feel like doing that? I just came home from work. Do I really feel like peeling potatoes? You don't. So you buy the little ones. You could have them already washed and just grab them and throw them on a sheet pan. How did you make it happen? Thoughts, routine, plans, anything. I just told the family that I can't be near these eggs and they need to take care of them. And how they did for the New Point dinners is I planned meals and went grocery shopping on Sunday. I hate going grocery shopping on Sunday. I don't suggest that because it's Sunday. It's your day off. I suggest maybe one of those nights after work you go grocery shopping because you're already on your feet. What's another 20, 30 minutes? And if you go grocery shopping enough, you don't have to spend an hour and a half in the store. I hate to do those big grocery. I'd rather go to the store twice in the same week than have a cart full of food where it takes you an hour and some to shop. I just think you'll just make better choices. You won't be dragging these bags in, and most of us only cook for 1 or 2 people. What barriers did you overcome and how did you do it? The barriers was fighting those cravings for those chocolates. I just knew that I had enough. I just kept telling myself, you had them, and that helps when, it's not like I didn't have them at all and they're sitting there calling me. That's worse. If I didn't have any, I couldn't justify not having them because I would have been like, yeah, well, I didn't get any and I don't know what they taste like. So, let's put this light on. Get this on. So, there we go. Sorry about that. So, the barriers I overcame for the dinner is a lot went into these healthy dinners. Takeout would have been easier, but I created a routine, resisted the couch to prep ahead, and hype myself up with music. I mean, you can do takeout, and it doesn't have to be. I think takeout and the drive-thru get a bad rap. You could order good takeout. You could go through the drive-thru and get a good option. There's just not always. I don't like when they always throw negativity to getting takeout. You don't have to get a cheesesteak when you get takeout. You don't have to get a burger and fries in the drive-thru. I do know that the options have gone down in a few places. I do understand that. But for the most part, I think you can definitely get it. Even if it's a coated chicken, I still think that's not a bad option. Remember, there's no options that are going to be perfect for us. We have to learn how to live in this world. This world's not going to cater to us because we're on a healthy lifestyle. Oh, we got a WW in line, and we better make sure we have healthy options. You just have to make the best of the bad choices. Let's dive a little deeper, shall we? We talk a lot about non-scale victories. Celebrating those big picture wins is key, but so is to acknowledge the huge efforts it is sometimes to take to achieve micro wins, like making a dinner after a long day, staying in your points budget, and eating out, or having courage to try a new workout. Yeah, there's just different things you absolutely can do that, and we say this all the time here on the channel, and we have like these so-called challenge to change. We say take something you want to improve on. Is it meal prepping? Is it, writing down recipes? Is it drinking our water? Is it eating more vegetables? Is it moving? There's so many things of the pillars of a good weight loss journey that we could just pick one. And sometimes we try to do them all. That's what I always think. The new girls that come into the meeting, or they have their new shiny little, Weight Watcher badges, and they're really into it. And I'm going to create a menu. I'm going to shop. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to track all my food. And they go into it with such high hopes. And then the next week you see them and they're like, well, and they get very down and discouraged on themselves because they didn't do all that. That's a lot. That's a lot for somebody like me who's been on WW for what, 4 or 5 years? Faithfully. Yeah, that's a lot for even me. I am just trying to work the last couple weeks just tracking on this new app because I've slacked on tracking. Since the wins went away, I've slacked on tracking, and I tell you that all the time. And I don't know what it is. Those wins were nothing great, but it gave me something to shoot for, and I don't have that. So for me, tracking is just a pain in the nut. And even though it's easy, and I tell you all the time, it is easy, but I don't have that motivation to track. So having a new app, because the points are a little bit different, I have more of a motivation to, plus I have to give you those better balance points. I didn't know what the heck they are. So yeah, I have a new motivation for tracking. So we're getting back into the swing of it. But, I thought about, Monday I came on and I said, let's drink our water. Yeah, that lasted a couple hours and slacked off on that. I said, I don't get on my case because I know, but you tracked well this week. I did one thing right. So we have to remember, like the thing says, it's a mini win to do one thing. Would you rather do one thing right or 4 things wrong, or don't do them? You have 4 things you want to do and you do none of them because it's daunting. But you pick one thing and you do it right all week. That is a mini win. And then you build on that. Give it a week or 2. I would say 2 weeks before you make it a habit, and then add a third thing and the second thing, and keep it simple. Like, don't be trying to drink 60 ounces of water in a day. I don't know. That's all. For somebody who doesn't drink water, to go from nothing to 60 is a lot. How about we just drink 8 ounces with every meal? That's 24 ounces. That's a win. That's a mini victory. So then you could build on that. Maybe do that for a few days and then maybe go to 12 ounces 3 times a day. And then maybe fit an extra one in between there. And then build on that. And maybe you'll get into a habit of your body really wanting that water, because our body's made up of water. And eventually it should crave it. Mine hasn't, but that's what I hear anyway. Everyday actions which drive success on and off the scale don't happen by accident. Digging into the details, obstacles, and hard work involved is more useful than giving yourself credit for doing the thing. Ever consider sharing your story, whether at your workshop or with a friend? It's icing on the cake. Studies show recognizing that action took more effort to achieve than make future challenges feel easier. Share it in the Facebook group. Share it down in the comments below. I would love to hear what went right for you this week. I always say, let me know in the comments below. What did you do well this week? I don't want to hear what you didn't do well, because we don't focus on them. We have to focus on the positives, because it doesn't matter what you did wrong. All it matters is what you did right. And then you could keep building on that. So yeah, leave in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. Put it in the group. Post it. If you're having a great week or you're doing something every day, post it in the group. You'll inspire somebody else. Like, wow, look at her go. I want to do that. I want people to be proud of me, because they'll read all the fantastic comments you'll get, and people want those comments to be about them. So maybe they'll dig their heels a little bit deeper, and then they'll have something to post about. So you believe it or not, your little story can inspire many. I know from whence I speak. When I sit there and I hear that my story inspires people, you're just like, and I feel like I'm struggling. But I'd rather struggle where I'm at than struggle where I started. And that's what we have to keep in our minds. It may not feel natural to pat yourself on the back, but it's not about bragging. You're registering what's working, and it's more importantly, why. And also you're verbalizing it. When you hear it back, you I think for me that was really key, was saying my weight out loud to my channel. Back then, I never said, nobody knew what, but saying that, and I'm like, it just made the difference in the rest of my journey. It's just, we have to hear it back. And like, even hearing your why do you want to lose weight? And people, my one used to be, I had to live. I was literally killing myself. And when people hear you say that, they're like, wow. And they're like, yeah, me too. Like when your health is in that dire straits, you don't want to let it go any further, because we're in control of our own health. It's not like I caught malaria, I ate too much, and I say this a lot too. Like, I didn't want to be the reason that my sons buried their mother because she ate too much. She didn't catch malaria from a mosquito. She ate, hear that. I ate too much. I ate too much. And they're burying their mother because she couldn't stop eating. She was eating more than she needed to. It's a realization that when I think about it, it almost makes you cry. Because, like, it's just food. And did I have enough on my first portion? Sure did. Did I need a second portion? Sure didn't. But it's definitely an ongoing process. I'm getting better at it, but I still want to go back. I'm not going to lie. I still do. I'm like, today we went out to breakfast. And I got a breakfast quesadilla. It was 6 pieces, and each piece was probably like that. I could have eaten that whole thing. I absolutely could have put that whole thing away. But I had half, and I stopped, and I said to myself, you're satisfied. If you eat any more, you're going to be full and stuffed. But it's okay. It's Saturday. You don't wait till next Saturday. True. But am I setting an example for myself? Do I want to stay with this pattern of eating better? Because if I go back to old habits just for one day, it just gives it sends my mind and my body the wrong message. It says it's okay to eat your face off on Saturdays. And I don't want my body to have that message. My body needs to know it's okay to go over a little bit, but we need to reel it in. And that's right. I pushed the plate away and I asked the waitress for a box. And I packed it up. It's eggs. It was bacon. It wasn't like I'm sitting there. I could have, and I probably, within points, it would have been probably 8 points, 9 points for the whole thing, because the tortilla and the bacon. It was eggs, and I think eggs, bacon. I don't think there was potatoes in it. I don't remember tasting potatoes. And peppers and onions. I don't remember there was potatoes. Even if there was, how much could it have been in there? So I was going to say the whole thing would have been 10 or 12 points. And I thought, I could fit that in. I have weeklies. I could have. But I thought, do I need it? I didn't. Do I feel satisfied? I do. So those are things you need to ask yourself when you're eating. Are you hungry? Not are you full? Because I technically wasn't full. I wasn't hungry. And I learned that in one of the nutrition classes I took. Like, the people in Europe say to their kids, are you hungry? And they'll say, no, mommy. And not saying, are you full? And I'm trying to teach that to Timmy, because Timmy, he still says, wait, I'm not full yet. You don't want to be full. If you're full, you've eaten too much. So always sit there and think about that when you're eating. Do you want to be the reason that you die because you ate too much? Is food that important? More important than living and seeing your kids and grandkids, your friends, your neighbors, your dog? Like, yeah, it does. You don't really think about it until it's said like that. Like, no, you could still eat. You can still have good treats. You just can't eat your face off. And, and I think once you get into the habit of not, you and I always say, fit it in these treats. You need to have cake. Yes, you do. You need to have chocolate. Yes, you do, because you need to feel like you're having it. You're living your life. So it's just, you're a work in progress, but really stop and think. Is this food more important than my life? Is this second helping more important than my life? It's a big one. It may not feel natural to pat yourself on the back, but that's not, I think I read that. You're registering what's working and, more importantly, why, which is exciting on this journey. It can help keep you going. To the app for low point. Look at the app for low point recipes to your next workout. To be better in a decent hour. Sleep is huge. It is huge. When you're well rested, you're able to make better choices because you're not tired. Denise and hungry Denise always makes bad choices because she just doesn't care. So really, sleep is so critical. And if you're having trouble sleeping, I don't know. I mean, because I have a CPAP, so I put that sucker on, I'm out. I would say talk to your doctor. Find a way to get better sleep. I know my mother had issues because she was so large and she had lymphedema. She couldn't lay down. And eventually that became a problem because you can't sleep sitting up all the time. It's not good it made her lymphedema 10 times worse. And you get to the point where you're not sleeping. You're just getting cat naps, and you just can't on cat naps. You got to get decent sleep. And I can see that's, when I got my CPAP, that's when the weight loss happened. And you hear stories about people get CPAPs, they lose weight. It's not the machine. It's just you're well rested, and well rested people make better choices, have the energy to do things. And that's my CPAP doctor always tells me that. All the way to your bigger goals. 3 fast facts. Reflecting on how we overcome barriers is critical for weight loss success. Studies show that when we recognize the efforts we put into our accomplishments, we tend to feel better about our progress. This gives us a sense of accomplishment that can motivate us to keep moving towards our goals. We have to have we have to feel positive about our journey. And you have to think good. You can't think negative. You can't have diet mentality. Oh, I didn't lose this week. Oh, I love when I only lost 0.2. Don't just say just 0.2. You lost 0.2. Because guess what? I say this all the time. You're never going to lose every week. Especially when you get down to the lower, when I don't have less to lose. Very rarely do you lose every week unless you're starving yourself. And is starving ourselves the smart thing to do? Nope. The smart thing to do is eat good food, get up and move, and get good sleep, and hydrate yourself. There are 4 pillars to your journey. There are 4 things you need to sit there and definitely work on. Sometimes not all at once, but those are the 4 things you should be thinking about. Getting to bed at a decent hour, eating good food, moving. The more you lose, the more you're going to want to move. Take a walk. Walking is a weight-bearing exercise, so it is very good for you to get out and walk. I know it's going to be getting hot soon, so you can walk after dinner when the sun's not as hot, or early in the morning before the sun gets really hot. Or guess what? You can walk in your air-conditioned house. Put a Leslie Sansone on, or put the silver slippers on. Put somebody that you can keep. And guess what? You don't even have to keep up with them. You just have to move. You do, and you will. The more you do it, the better you'll get. Were you going to be good in the beginning? Nope. Will you last 2 minutes? Probably. But then the next day you do it, and maybe you last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And then the next day, maybe you last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. You build on your successes. And all of a sudden you'll be like, when I first started doing Glam Squad, I couldn't make the whole mile. No, I did not. But I moved more than I moved before. And that's what you have to show progress. Progress, not perfection. That is the goal. The goal is progress. And we can do it. You can do it. And I always say this, if I did it, I know you can do it. Because let me tell you, I didn't do anything. I was definitely couch bound. I was 270 pounds. I'm not very tall. 5'3.5". So that's not very tall for 270 pounds. So yeah, it was I couldn't get my butt on the chair to grab something off the shelf. That's when I knew that I couldn't even push that. I couldn't get myself up there. And then I thought to myself, I could ask the boys to do it, but what if they're not there? What if you need something and they're not there? So yeah, now I just almost literally leap on that chair. And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And again, we feel better about ourselves, the more and better we'll do. So that's what Dish with D is here for. Come to the live chit chats. You will get motivated by the stories. You'll get motivated by the people, because everyone there puts themselves first as a priority. And that's what you need to do. Your health is important. You're in charge. You're in the driver's seat of your health. So, we need to do it. Together, we are stronger. That's what a community does. And that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this little foray into WW topic this week. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us to be part of the family, be part of the community, be part of the revolution of your change. You can do it, but you have to be the one that does it. I wish I could do it for everybody. Not really, but I can't though. You have to put the work in. You have to sit there and make the decisions. You have to shop for the food. You have to prepare your food. You have to eat the food. Is it hard? A little bit. Especially in the beginning, it's very hard to go from eating everything to being accountable and only eating some. In the beginning, so you feel like you're starving. But are you starving? You're not. Eat your points. You're given points per day. Eat them. Dip into those weeklies for good food. Don't be dipping into them for Doritos. Occasionally you can, but on the whole, I don't want you to sit there and say, well, I got extra points, so I'm going to eat Doritos. No. Eat some higher fat cheese. Drink some milk. Have a little bit of olive oil. Have maybe a little extra potatoes or a little extra oatmeal, a little extra pasta. That's where you use your, those extra points for things like that. For regular food. Yeah, you should have your treats and fit those treats in, but I don't want you sitting there, banking points to have that carrot cake. Occasionally it's nothing wrong with it, but for a day, I'm talking about on the daily. On the daily, we shouldn't be worried about dessert. But I have you covered for dessert. You've seen my recipes, my whoopie pies, my mug cakes, my loaf cakes. They're definitely able to be fit in. And I'll leave you with this. Should you eat them every night? No, you shouldn't. Especially at our age, I don't think we metabolize as great as we used to. Young girls, they got it. We're, in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Yeah, several times a week, abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. Fit them in. 3 days a week, you're allowed to you should have a little treat after dinner. It's nothing wrong with it. But leave you on that note. Let me know in the comment section below what you're proud of this week. I want to know. I want you to pat yourself on the back. I want to hear some bragging down there. Because you should brag. This was a hard week. Very hard. So let me know what went right for you. I will dish with you tomorrow for a meal prep. We have an air fryer prep. A few things I made in the air fryer, so I hope you enjoy that. You'll see that tomorrow. And that is it. I will talk to you later, Gators.